Hello, everybody, and thank you so much for once again tuning in. This is the Vuyo Show, and we are back again with yet another riveting and exciting episode. Listen, you're already seeing him on your screens. I don't have to necessarily do an intro, and you've seen him on the show before, so
Yeah.
he's here with us, of course, Nate Pennington. I call him Nate the Mate. I think that rhymes very
Yeah, I
nicely.
remember when we did our first table talks, that was like the first name that you said.
Yeah.
Just stuff.
So we're back, of course, we're talking all things fashion,
Mhm.
lifestyle in this particular season. The previous episode, Nate, I just did a bit of an intro, just telling everyone what to expect and what to anticipate this season.
Okay.
And I told them that you're going to be coming back. So they've been waiting for you. They've been waiting for
I'm
you.
I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to get back in the action. I've been missing.
Yeah.
Sure.
So there's so much to unpack. There's so much to talk about. I mean, we're both in fashion. Maybe because also just to give a bit of context, obviously we did give context within the previous season of why you were on the show, but I think it's so much more relevant now to give context to you and your voice within the fashion space so that the audience can kind of understand as we're moving forward in the season or how it makes sense for us to why it's important for us to have these conversations. So I'm gonna give you the chance to speak first, and then I'm gonna kind of come in then and round it up a little bit.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I'm just excited to be here. I think us doing this is like, I feel like it's just so important, especially because us kind of building what we've been building. I feel like
Yeah.
it's important to get our voices out there more. We've been doing what we're doing with our magazine, and slowly growing that in our business that we have going on. But I think us actually being face to face, talking to the viewers and people out there,
Yeah.
just getting on a more personal level, and seeing us kind of like up front and center our true opinions in the like the time frame instead of just like a print magazine. I think it's good for the industry. I think it's good for our brands. I think it's good for our opinions to be out there and kind of just share our thoughts. Because the thing about fashion, right? It's so opinionated. It's an industry that is built on just your personal opinions, which I think is so unique compared to other industries. It's more, statistics or factual evidence backed by stuff like that. But with us, it's purely our own perception of beauty and
Yeah.
what we enjoy. And I think that's so fascinating in fashion, and I think that's what I'm most excited about, to get into these topics and just kind of talking about what we want to talk about and enjoy talking about. So I'm really
Yeah.
looking forward to it.
The part about enjoying talking about it is also quite critically important.
Oh, 100.
Um,
Why we do it, right?
yeah, yeah. And I remember texting you, I think it was earlier this year, about the magazine. Because,
Mhm.
before January, I think it was around December, January, where I reached out to you and I was like, hey, Nate, I mean, when I started the company in 2020, the magazine was part of it, but I kind of took a pause on that. But this year, something kind of in me was like, let's bring the magazine back. And I remember texting you that, and you were like, hell yeah,
Yeah,
let's
especially because
go.
I think the timing of it was so big. Because like yeah, I think it was like January. It might have even been that December. I'm not
Yeah,
sure, but
yeah.
you bringing it up and us kind of like taking it serious and talking about it more was genuinely like a perfect time in the market as well, because it was kind of right before print started kind of making a comeback again.
Mm,
Because like started seeing around that new year that all these other brands, these big well-known companies that have been around forever, like even Playboy, for example,
yeah, I saw
they
that.
went all digital, and a lot of people went that route the last few years, especially around COVID. And I think everybody's kind of starting to come back to print. It's that nostalgic feel. It's like that collector's feel. So I think we jumped in right at the right time for the market to kind of be in that direction again.
Yeah,
So I think that's also is just like kind of like a sign that like it was the right decision to go that way.
yeah. And I remember being fully like clear that the print, I
Yeah.
wasn't even shaky or wavy about it, knowing fully that, oh, everything is digital right now. And
Mhm.
yeah, that's definitely a big part of what we're doing is the digital aspect of it.
Yeah.
But there's just something about that print that I just felt like I get it. It's probably even harder to do. It's even more technical to do. It's more challenging to do. I mean, it's insanely lot more technically challenging. But I was like, let's just do it. And we
Mhm.
launched it at New York Fashion Week, which was again perfect timing.
Yeah, perfect time.
And so I think now, as you were saying, like the timing of the magazine being in place, and also location wise where we are, I was
Yeah,
like, we're both not from New York. And if you're gonna come to New York, we better do
Mhm.
something really cool. Like we can't
Exactly.
just come here and just like hang out. Like no.
I think that's what makes it so unique too, because each, you have your handful of magazines that have been around for a long, long time,
Yeah.
and they have their kind of their story of how they began and like their journey. And I think ours is unique because it's we're not from here.
Yeah.
Uh, I'm from Texas, and then you're from South Africa, which are two totally different realms.
Yep.
I'm two totally different realms from New York in general. So
Yeah.
the fact that we both moved here kind of with the same goal to kind of grow something and start something, um, I think that's just a really unique and kind of cool story to build off of, and I think people
Mhm.
will resonate with that, because it goes back to that kind of aspirational feel that we want to give people. We
Yeah.
want to give people that you can do whatever you want in this life, and you don't have to stay in a certain spot. You don't have to be tied down to certain ideologies or thoughts, or like I'm supposed to do this. Like you can do what you truly love to do and you want to do. It's going to take work,
Yeah.
but nothing is worth. It's not worth it if you don't have to work for it. When you
Yeah.
work for it, you get that gratitude and you appreciate it more. So I think that's one reason that I feel like we're unique in a way, because we're just from different parts of the world, and we're
Mhm.
coming together in the biggest part of the world. So I
Yeah.
think that's pretty exciting itself.
And I think right now, I mean, I personally, and this might be maybe a controversial take, or like someone could like debunk what I'm saying, but I
We
just
love
genuinely
controversy, right? I'm all for controversy.
I just genuinely feel like there isn't anything new. There's nothing, I feel like I've been searching and looking for something to kind of shift the fashion space from what has been, the Vogue architect of publication building. Do you know what I mean? And I
Mhm.
think there's definitely a space, I believe, and that's why aggressively wanting to get into this industry in the way that we are doing right now is because I just genuinely feel like there is a space for this voice that we have, and even the different voices that we have, the different perspectives, like you male, I'm female, you from
Mhm.
Texas, I'm from South Africa, you white, I'm black. Like there's so many things that
Yeah,
make us
yeah,
different,
literally, yeah.
but at the same time, it's like there's also that oneness in the voice that makes
Mhm.
our fashion voice make sense, if that makes sense. And there's nothing like that out there. There's nothing like that out there.
Exactly. And we're like you said, we're so different, but we're going towards the same goal.
Yes.
And so I think that's kind of a cool thing. And like you said, with like how you think there's kind of like there's a hole in the market for us to kind of enter.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing about fashion is it's like it's a very overcrowded space. I
Mm.
mean, there's a lot of different roles and jobs within fashion, whether it's, actual design, the production, manufacturing, marketing, more the business side. It's such a broad scale of like actual careers in fashion. It's such a big world, but it's very overpopulated. But there's like I said, it goes back to the thing where it's such an opinionated thing that you can just jump in with your own opinion because only your opinion's yours.
Yeah.
So that's what makes it unique. You can just jump in and automatically stand out from already all the things there are involved with the industry. It's because
Yeah.
it's you and it's your own opinion, and that'll make you stand out as is. So as long as
Mm.
you stay, I feel like so many people in this industry also try to ride the back of other people's ideas and thoughts.
Mm.
Um, and I feel like you can do that to a certain extent, kind of like fake it till you make it. But then eventually you'll get to a spot where you're stuck because
Yeah.
you have to innovate, you have to be able to have your own thoughts and opinions. You have to form your own kind of identity, and you got to be creative with it. And I think that's something that we are doing right now, and it's going to continue to grow and blossom. So I
Yeah.
agree with what you're saying.
I made a post today. I was like, we're building the next big thing in fashion. That's just my opinion.
I mean,
It's
hey,
the next
you got,
big thing in fashion. Like
the thing
that's
is,
it.
you got to be delusional to an extent. Because, like you said, it's New York. If you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere.
Yeah.
And you got to be confident. You got to be able to believe in your idea, or it won't work. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
confident in it too. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for this idea. So I
Yeah.
think I know for a fact we're going down the right path, and
Mm-hmm.
we're going to carve out our own little identity here in New York, and hopefully globally after.
Yeah. I mean, it's already global in the sense that
Yeah,
there's a,
yeah,
you know what I mean? And
it is.
that's like I think for me is what makes the difference as well. You know what I
Mm.
mean? I mean, we've already have set up and structured in South Africa, right? So we
And
already
that
are
market is
global.
totally open. Like that's another thing is like that is such a good market to be. It's not like you're from some like Paris where it's already
Yeah.
like established. Like South Africa is like a
Yeah.
growing kind of world in that field. So I think that's really cool too because it's like almost like we're getting a head start kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're seeing now that publications are going there.
Yeah.
That's to signify that, oh, New York and these cars.
Yeah, they're
Can you hear
drilling
that?
above me right now. I hear your
I'm hearing the sirens. I'm like, come on. But
yeah.
for me, it's like
Back.
whenever I hear sirens in a video, I'm like, you're in New York. Where
Yeah,
else
you're
could you be? Where there's that craze.
hmm
But yeah, I think it's such an interesting, unique approach, and I think the voice that we're bringing forward, and I'm very unapologetic about this, especially when kind of coming forward in a public sense to speak about the importance of what we are putting out and the openness of the market for it and the fact that there's nothing else out there like it. So it definitely, and then also our backgrounds help in ensuring that it is different.
Yeah.
My background is in media. I've been in media for almost a decade now, in
hmm
broadcasting and TV and all these kind of things. And that is something that also is an additional add-on, right? And then
Exactly.
also having the tech and business side of experience also adds into that, and then your
hmm
fashion experience as well. So all of these culmination of things coming forward, and then you look at other publications and other things that are currently out there, and you ask yourself, do the people behind them have these qualifications or these experiences? Maybe
hmm
not. So that in and of itself, that makes it completely different.
Yeah,
um
and
yeah.
it's fascinating because especially in fashion, I mean, this happens in other fields too, but it seems like a lot of times in fashion, people that end up in fashion that become very successful were not in fashion to begin with. Like Virgil
Mm.
Abloh, he went to architecture school. I
Oh
think
yeah.
a lot of designers did. They studied, architecture or interior design. Marusha Prada, she wasn't going to be a designer. She was later in her life, or she went to. I think she went to. Don't quote me, but I think I saw recently where I saw she was studying to be a mime at one point when
Oh
she was young.
wow.
So like it's such an interesting field, and I think people know that it's such a good way to express yourself in that industry
Yeah.
creatively. It's just I think it's the most free flowing creative industry that there is, and I
Yeah.
think that's why it's so unique.
Yeah. And
Mm-hmm.
for you to be in it, you need to definitely have something to say though. And I think that's the part. Like that's the important thing, because it's not even just in the fashion, but it's also in the not just the clothing of the fashion, but what are you actually communicating? I think of
Mm-hmm.
people like Pharrell, and I'm just like, for me, that's like the perfect like archetype of what fashion truly is. It's a voice, and Pharrell is a voice. Like he's an
Mm-hmm.
artist, he's a philanthropist, like he's all of these things. And then he has this fashion voice, but that doesn't necessarily speak on the clothes that he's putting on the runway or that people are wearing. But even beyond that, it's a moment, it's an experience. It's all these different things, and I think that's where fashion is moving towards now. And
Mm-hmm.
historically, we know that it's been about what are the colors this season? What are the
Trends, very
what are the
trend.
prints? What are
Yeah.
the now it's more than that. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? And we're seeing with all these creative directors that are coming in all these. I mean, I saw SZA, you know, this the artist
Yeah.
SZA. She's just been appointed as I think something
For
creative
Vans.
for Vans. So
Yeah.
you're
So
starting to see that fashion is becoming complete. It's moving towards a very interesting direction.
well, I'm gonna combat you on that because I might have a I don't know. My opinion's kind of wavering on that because we are seeing a lot of new creative directions for these big brands. A lot of these big
Hmm.
brands are bringing in fresh faces, but if you notice, a lot of them are bringing in celebrities. So,
Yeah.
For example, like Pharrell, like Louis Vuitton brought Pharrell in, Vans brought SZA in. A lot of these brands are trying to bring in already well-known big personalities to kind of lead their brand because they're already professional creatives. And
Yeah.
I totally get that. But it also makes me a little sad for people that are not famous,
Oh, I see what you're saying.
but are very talented
Talented. Mm.
and that just can't get that opportunity. Because what if this guy, you know, has amazing talent, but he's never had that chance to prove himself
Mm.
because he's going up against Kanye West as the job description. You know, it's like,
Mm.
am I going to hire Kanye or Pharrell or am I going to hire this guy that no one knows? And for brands that are established, they're going to want somebody with a popular, already proven face to kind of keep their company moving. Especially like someone like Vans, who Vans has kind of been a company that's been I don't want to say struggling, but they've definitely been kind of not as popular in
Mm.
catching up with the new
The new times.
generation
Hmm.
lately. And I think this is a move to do that. It's a well known face. She's popular with the younger crowd,
She just
and
had
I
a
think
tour
yeah,
recently.
brand new tour. So I think they know for them it's going to help them kind of bring a new crowd to them and kind of start boosting them up again, which I respect. I mean, you got to do what you got to do to keep your brand afloat. And if you think it's a genuine good match, then it's a genuine good match. But I do think it's a concern that brands are just jumping to just hire these people that are already well known without really knowing if they match well.
I hear, and I think, okay, now that you're explaining it that way, I'm
Mhm.
seeing the pattern. And I think prior you'd find brands giving celebrities and influential people the role of like the face of, or
Yeah,
what you'd see
yeah,
like as
exactly.
an, yeah, it was
Yeah,
before. You'd find them as like, okay, this is the face of this campaign is led,
yeah.
or this is the face of you know, or the ambassador, or you know,
Hmm.
global ambassador for this brand. But now I hear what you're saying, and it's becoming then a real challenge to say the creative directors that maybe we might have known are people who have been started as an intern and then went up the ranks and then started
Exactly.
creating collections, and so they know the art of making clothing and the art of making
Hmm.
fashion
In the foundation of the brand
and the
too.
foundations. Yeah, so if then we are bringing in folks who might not even have the technical experience in that particular type of role and not just make
Hmm.
them an ambassador, which makes
Exactly.
sense from a we want to make sales, we want to boost sales. But now
Hmm.
these titles that are being invented and these titles that are kind of coming into play
Yeah.
that are, as you're saying, could be someone who's actually done the work and built the ranks. While on those people creative, because technically creative direction is the direction of the brand and the designs and you know the
It's the whole
run.
the marketing of the brand,
Yeah,
their everything creative and visual.
yeah.
They're responsible of.
So it's quite interesting to see. Yeah, it's quite interesting to see that shift happening. I mean, people like ASAP Rocky, I think his I saw him on like a Ray, what
Mhm.
is it, Ray-Ban? I don't know
Ray
if
Ban,
that was just
yeah,
him being an ambassador
sunglasses.
or
No,
yeah.
he. I think he was announced the creative director.
Oh, really? For
Yeah,
Ray-Bans?
yeah.
Oh,
Like
wow.
earlier this year, like around February, I think February March.
So it's okay. Now okay, now what you're saying is hmm.
Because if I looked up a list of celebrities that are creative directors for big brands now, I'm sure it'd probably be a pretty big list. And that
Yeah.
hasn't been something that's been a thing. Like that's like a fairly
Yeah.
new strategy. And like I said, I get it, but I just don't see it as like an authentic way to like really. move your brand forward. I think it's a little bit of a cheat code almost. It's
Yeah.
like we're a big name brand. We're not really where we want to go. We're trying to grow more because right now the generation we're at right now is an ever changing.
Yeah.
Like the momentum right now it's something we've never seen before with brands specifically. It's a very weird gray area it is right now. So people are trying whatever they can to try something different to kind of get a step up above other people. So like I said, I get it. I might not 100% agree with it, but then again, if I see proof of work and it's valid and I think it's working, then I take my word back. But I don't know if we'll see that completely. But I mean, only time will tell, really, if these people are worthy of the job or not.
And also, I think the challenge with big legacy, like legacy anything, legacy media, legacy fashion, legacy like all these
Mm-hmm.
brands, and the competition now is not against other legacy brands. The competition is against the 21-year-old who starts his fashion line from his bedroom and then
Yeah,
starts building an online community, starts trending on TikTok, then makes $1 million
influencers.
a day. Like
Yeah,
that's the competition now. So
yeah.
they're trying to like figure out like how do we compete with these
Mm-hmm.
like 21-year-olds who are building sell t-shirts for like $100 and make $1 million a month or a day on selling these like plain t-shirts because of the social proof that they've gained. How do we compete with that? So maybe bringing an ASAP Rocky to
Yeah,
then be the guy who has the social proof or the so because back in the days you just go to the store and buy whatever is on the rack on the shelf or whatever. That was it. Now I'm gonna buy from someone that I vibe with on social media.
exactly. It
You know
goes back
what I mean?
like nowadays. It's luxury. The idea of luxury. The idea of products in general are changing. It's not like, oh, this is Gucci, I'm gonna buy Gucci. It's people resonate, especially in the economy, in the market right now, and the prices of everything. It's like people would rather buy from somebody that they see the genuine story behind.
Yeah.
People want story. They want something they can align their beliefs with. They want that's what how these people that build these cult like followings, like Cortez, for example. It's a brand out of London. Like
Oh, the
Clint,
Londoners they're
yeah,
doing that.
they're
Wow.
right now. Clint is the guy the founder of it. He built a cult like following, and I mean, like absolutely cult like following, and people resonate with that, especially young people. They want to
Yeah.
be part of a tribe. Humans in human nature, we have this yearning of like being part of a tribe. It goes
Yeah.
back to all the way back in the early times, and people want to feel a part of something. And these bigger brands sometimes they don't really. They kind of are the opposite. It's like you're not allowed to be with us until you like have a certain net worth or like
Yeah.
you're living in this certain area code. But these smaller brands, they're selling you their story, and if you resonate with it, then you're welcome in. And people,
Yeah.
that's where they want to buy from nowadays.
And it's such a unique direction, I think. Because I mean, you look at people like back to the celebrity point of view, like you look at someone like
Mm-hmm.
Rihanna, you look at someone like Hailey Bieber, who started
Mm-hmm.
brands like Hailey was like what 2 years ago when she started Rode.
Road, yeah, 2 or 3 years
It was
ago.
like a billion
Hold
dollar
it.
valuation now. Like
Yeah,
you're starting to see the power now of like having and growing a community and having a because even there are celebrities who are maybe in Rihanna's like space that have maybe started beauty lines that
yeah,
did not do so well, or models like Hailey Bieber who might have started fashion beauty lines but it didn't do so well. So there's something about what they're doing, particularly that the Gen Zs, because the Gen Zs are now the ones that are in charge,
yeah.
right? They're the ones running the social streets.
For the consumers, yeah,
Yeah, so now you think of like a L'Oreal competing with the road, a Mac competing with the road, or these kind of bigger, been there around, been here before type of fashion brands that are now competing with the Fenties,
yeah.
right? And now that it's not even been 20 years of Fenty being around, but it ranks in the same catalog,
Categories, yeah,
with these other bigger brands. So now it's starting to show that there has to be a unique approach and change to how these brands are operating. You know what I mean? Or else it's
I've noticed that, like, for example, Rode, I think they don't even have more than 10 products.
wow.
I think it's a very, same with like something like, for example, like Skims with Kim
Skip, yeah.
Kardashian. Very minimal products. It's very simple. It's not a lot of like this. We're selling this. We're selling that. We're selling this. We're selling that. We're selling this. It's not a huge catalog of products they're selling. And I don't even think Fenty's selling a lot of things. I think it's a pretty normal sized catalog of
Yeah.
things. I think brands that are finding success now are very simplifying the process. And I think it helps the consumers with the decision making process.
Mm.
Because you go into Sephora, for example, these big makeup companies, they have their brand all along the shelf. I mean, I'm a man, I don't know any much about makeup, but I could not make a decision looking at all that. I could
Oh
not
yeah.
make a decision. If you go to Rode and there's 3 products in different colors or different options, it really makes the process of feeling comfortable with your purchase a lot easier.
Yeah.
And I feel like in this era of like, you know, short attention spans and stuff like that, these brands have these things like called hero products. It's like it's
Mm.
the product that really blew them up, and then they went all in on that product and doubled down on it. And when they kind of built that cult like following off that hero product, then when they get that following, gives them opportunity to kind of expand and try different products. But that one few products really
Yeah.
grows that company because they know it works.
Yeah.
And I've noticed to see a lot of businesses have been, or small businesses specifically, have been kind of doing things like that. It's like they have a very small amount of products, but they do them well.
They do them well. And
Yeah.
and I think what I've found within like the fashion, like the clothing space, I don't know what they're doing in London. Hey, there's something that's happening I want to actually go to London and go get what the secret sauce is because the London folks are doing it so well
Mhm.
within like creating these fashion brands that are I think maybe it's also with what you're saying about the simplification and the minimalism and like fashion now is becoming so minimal. Like people are just like, I'm gonna wear a white t-shirt, wear black pants, and that's gonna be
Yeah.
fashionable. And you know what I mean? Put on like so I think what we're seeing now is kind of like the future of fashion moving away from the US and starting to have a big foothold in the UK
Mhm.
because of that minimalistic. So you find brands like Odd Muse, which is this like I think
Yeah.
she's 25 or something, and she also has very few products that she started off with. The girlies are eating that thing up, like they're eating it up. Like she opens the website, and then in like
Yeah.
24 hours, everything is sold out because of that minimalism that you're kind of speaking of. And I think fashion is also going towards that. Like people are now talking about like clean beauty and minimal beauty. People are trying to not wear eyeshadows and have bright everything all over the faces anymore. People are trying to wear like simple clothes, simple, eat clean, everything is clean, makeup is clean, clothing is simple, sustainability. So all of these things that I think the Gen Z generation is like it's such a Gen Z, such a different generation, and the brands that are making it, like the Skims, like Skims sells plain, simple
And just skin tone colors too.
skin tone colors. Like I'm like,
Mhm.
that's it.
To be
Like
fair, it is Kim Kardashian though, and
fair
everybody's like,
point.
"Oh, I love Kim." Like they want to just buy in because it's Kim Kardashian. That's where it's so weird. It's like you have these fashion and product development, marketing. It's so psychological. It's a game within a game. It really is. It's very interesting how it works.
But I would then kind of push back on that to say there are celebrities who have started things that did not work out. Do you know what
Oh
I
yeah,
mean? So it's
yeah.
not even about her being Kim, but it's also back to that point that you were making about what the trend, or no, I wouldn't even say trend, but what the forecast of where fashion is going, where people are now looking for minimalism in just the way they dress. And
Hmm.
that's what Kim got and understood with Emma Grede, who's the her business partner.
Yeah, that's
What
right.
they
Yeah.
understood was people are now looking for simple things. Like one of Emma's other business with Chloe is the jeans. Like it's just a plain simple jean. But
Hmm.
that's what people are trying to get to now, and people are kind of shying away from the big couture. Like let's just be
I mean,
too
yeah, because think
fashionable.
about the like Victorian era. Like you were going outside to go on a walk, you were wearing a 3-piece suit or a full-on dress. I'm like, which to me personally, like I'm kind of like I'm a big history guy, and if you know me, you know that, and I just love. See, like I totally agree with you where it seems like everything's gone a little bit more minimalistic, and it's been like that for the last couple years, and it's
Yeah.
kind of
Since
maintained.
COVID, I'd say.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Um, but it makes me a little sad though at the same time because back then I feel like people just it was almost like it was I don't want to know like a social status thing,
Mm.
but people really took pride in how they looked
Sure.
and how they were perceived. And I get that it's probably to a certain extent it's probably an unhealthy thing, like to really care like how you looking and all that. But like I think it's also a good thing. It shows confidence in yourself that when you really care about how you look and how you're perceived by even strangers. And
Mm.
I feel like we've kind of lost that to where people are just like, I'm just gonna wear sweatpants. I'm gonna go outside and it's gonna be whatever it's gonna be. Which I get. We're in a new generation, new era, but I do kind of miss that dressing up for every occasion
Yeah.
idea. Like I feel like I would love to be a part of that. But then again, nowadays life's so much faster.
Yeah.
It seems like things are moving so much quicker. There's so much more going on. So it's a little more of a challenge to be able to like really dress up like that all the time for every occasion. But I do wish kind of every now and then it was kind of still like that.
And I think back to the idea of like the creative, the brands, the legacy brands kind of bringing in non-technical people on the teams. That then makes me ask the question like, is the art of fashion creating, dying, or being, because now it's like, even though if you think of the brands that are skyrocketing now, right? From like the that example of the 21-year-old who sells t-shirts in his bedroom and it becomes $1 million brand or $1 billion brand. That's not the art of fashion. That's not art. No one's sitting down and like conceptualizing this idea and coming up with the concept and coming up with, you know what I mean? No one's sketching like for that to happen. So that does that not mean that then we are moving towards an era of fashion where it's not about the clothes, it's about the either the person behind it or the story behind it, or the experience around it. That's what makes people buy it than, oh, this is a beautifully curated or beautifully crafted top. No, that's why the challenge now for the designers who are exceptionally talented, who are finding themselves not being able to have sustainability in the industry because the art of it has kind of died down, you know?
See, I do agree it has been like that. Sorry, I was
Yeah.
getting a call. I do agree it has been like that, but I am seeing kind of a back because like I think that's how it was with fast fashion too. Is like it was like Shein, for example. Like it was all hype, so people were just buying it because they're like, "Oh, this is cheap," and it was kind of like they were just buying it because it was Shein and it was cheap and easy. That was their thing. But I am kind of starting to see a renaissance of like people really wanting handcrafted, well-made stuff. I think it goes to the fact that how AI is becoming too.
Mm.
People are seeing how AI is basically going to be and how it's going to things are all going to be made by AI, things are going to be made by robots, and I think it's eventually going to be to where like if something was made by hand, it's going to be more valuable down the line like when AI is more of a thing.
Yeah.
So I think people are going to realize, and I think they're slowly realizing it now, that the art of it is the importance of it. The craftsmanship is the importance of it. I think it hasn't been. I think people have like the whole fast fashion era. I think it's slowly dying, but I do think that was a big part of it. But I do think people are kind of wanting to like buy less and buy better. So
Mm.
buy less things probably because they're more expensive, but they're better made and they'll last you a lifetime. I really think I'm starting to see more and more people do that,
Yeah.
including myself. Like, I think I'm such a big like advocate for you don't have to wear a new outfit every day. You don't have to have a new shirt every day. I have the same stuff. I literally have stuff that I've had since I was in seventh grade, which shows I
Wow.
didn't have a growth spurt after that. But a lot of stuff is because it's well made. I mean, to be fair, I have some stuff that's not well made. I just like holding on to things, but I have stuff that is well made that I've had for years, and it's become part of my identity. Because if you
Mm,
see me in it, it's like that's me. Because
mm,
that outfit or that item, that jacket, is so engraved into my style that it's become a part of my identity. And I
yeah,
think back then, like people that were ahead of their time, like Prince, Miles Davis, James Dean, they wore their personality,
yeah.
and that was it. And people knew them from that. Nowadays, people one day dress like a cowboy, the next day they dress like a finance bro, and they lose that identity of
What a
themselves.
finance, bro.
Yeah, they lose their identity, and people don't really know who they
Who
are.
they are.
It's like a
That
costume.
part.
People are just wearing whatever they feel like is on trend, or they just want to mix it up. And I get that if you're trying to find your personal style and you don't know who you are yet in that fact. But I think that's so important for people to do is to really find their personal style and build off of it, not just wear what's trendy or what is the vibe right now. I think it's so important because people really, whether you believe it or not, people really see you in your identity when you wear clothes that represent you. And I think that's a dying art as well.
Yeah, I think it's such a critical exercise, because it's such a in a industry where trends are. I've also kind of been seeing the trend of trends not trending anymore.
That's exactly what I'm trying to say.
Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it's like, yeah, there's, but again, with what I was saying, like the industry of trends and the industry of things being designed and speculated and put together by these elite folks who then make the decisions for what people are
Hmm.
wearing.
Yeah.
Um, I think the democratization of fashion has enabled that now. You don't have to, for you to fit in the category of fashion, you don't have to be that. You don't have to be part of the archetype in
Exactly.
order for you to be part of, considered as part of being in fashion. But then I think the challenge then becomes the exercise of having to find your personal style
Hmm.
is such a it's a more personal thing because now you have to speak to you as a person.
Hmm. And you're
Not
your own.
yeah, yeah, because really that is how you identify a lot of people. Like if you think of all the folks who are that you're, and this could be for anyone watching, like your favorite fashionista, there's
Hmm.
something about them that you know. You know what I mean? That's it's
Yeah,
either the
like them.
sunglasses or the hats that they wear or
Mhm.
the silhouettes that they constantly wear or they have this unique thing that they have and yeah, but it's like how do you then maneuver your way into getting into having that uniqueness about then your and that this also is for fashion brands as well for like for fashion brands to some fashion brands you not even know like okay is this like a couture brand? Is this a ready to wear brand? What exactly is this brand? And I think that's
Yeah.
also again the following of trends not trending anymore. It's making it a bit challenging for a lot of legacy brands that have depended on that have
Mhm.
depended on trends for all of these,
Oh yeah.
you know,
Stability.
decades.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
that's what's been that's how they predicted the season one fashion week before and then people wear whatever was at the fashion runway for the entire season until next season and then they make the predictions again but there's nothing like that anymore. It's like
Oh yeah. There is a literally job role called a trend forecaster
yeah.
in the fashion, and their sole job is to literally predict trends.
Mm,
I remember I was subscribed to this website when I was in college, WGSN. It was basically a subscription based thing, and it was a trend forecasting website. You had access to basically what these trend forecasters were predicting, whether it was colors, style trends, pattern trends, just all things trends, and it was literally like 3 years ahead.
mm,
It's like I would be looking at it in 2021. It was like colors like this trending pattern for 2027, and I'm like, that's crazy. It's like these people are literally their sole job is to predict these trends for these big corporations, Gucci, Prada's, to kind of trickle down to the market.
Yeah.
And kind of once they set it, they set the tone for the trends, and then the consumers follow. So I think that's fascinating, and that makes me wonder where that job sits today with the trends dying. Like, it's clearly still going to be a thing. Like, it's always going to be like, what's next? There's always going to be people looking for what's next.
Yeah.
But it's definitely got to be toned down from what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been a collector of magazines like my entire childhood. Like, I just that's what I would save up for. Like, I need a magazine, to be able to see the fashion and to see. And there was always the page. If it was a monthly magazine, there was always the fashion page that tells you what's in this season, or what's in this month, or what's in this, and then have the fashion editor tell you what lipstick to wear next week. Like, okay, that's what she said. That's what I'm going to do,
Yeah, and then you start seeing everybody on the street wearing the same thing you are. That's the crazy thing.
With like the rise of individuality as well, where people are trying to personal branding themselves separate from everyone. It's like the world is changing, and I don't know if people realize that of the drasticness of how things are changing right now. You know what I mean? And just again with like this whole personal branding idea, everyone wants to have their individuality, or is at least hoping to set themselves apart from everyone else, because then how do you grow a personal brand if you look like everyone else, and if you try and wear what everyone else is wearing? So I think going back to what you said, it's so important to have that. I don't necessarily think I'm now that you've said it, I think I'm going to definitely do that exercise for myself as well, to just like, yeah, I think I'm definitely going to have to do something like that and try and figure out like my unique personal, I don't know if it would be an item that like, how it would, like a sunglasses or hat.
Yeah.
But I think there definitely would be something that
stands up.
Yeah.
I mean, for example, this happened to me, and I didn't plan it. And that's the best thing, is when you don't plan it, because then I just realized it was who I am. And people notice me for is I always wear hats.
That's true.
All the time. And you probably know that.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't
especially that Dallas one.
Yeah, you probably haven't seen my head. I go in phases where like I'll wear this one for 2 months, and then I'll change it out for another 2 months with another one. And all my friends know me from that. You look at pictures of me growing up when I was a kid.
That's actually true. Yeah.
I was always, all these pictures when I was a kid, I always had a hat on. It's just, it's always just part of my personal identity. I just love it. I look at it as another accessory. It's another layer of accessory you can have. And I've just always gravitated to them. I feel naked and I don't have one on.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's just part of me. So I think that's kind of what makes it unique, is people finding those unique things for them, whether it's jewelry or, certain shoes, something. I don't know. But I think it's definitely something everybody should do, to kind of you learn a lot about yourself when you do those exercises.
And the choice is why you want to make those things your items.
Your item, exactly. And then you kind of you learn more about yourself. And that's such a big part of the journey of life, is figuring out who you are. And so many people get overwhelmed with that thought nowadays, because of all that we consume and we see and we compare, and we think we want to be this, we think we want to be that, but when we try to be that, something's missing. It's because we're comparing. You got to just take a step back and learn who you are to yourself. And it may not be what you think or even want in your mind, but then once it clicks, it becomes, normal. But I find that so interesting, because it makes you wonder why it's like this era feels like, or this generation feels like, the rise of individuality, because it's also
and
the era of
individualism as well.
Exactly. And it's also the era of AI. So it's like AI is growing, basically taking away individuality. And it's almost like human nature that we're almost fighting back by really trying to pursue our own individuality. It's almost like a human subconscious is like, we don't want that individuality taken away from us, so we're going extra hard at it right now to really dive into it before it's too late. I don't
Yeah.
know, something that I think about randomly.
Yeah. And I think there's that I think the rise of AI really is now forcing people to take extra steps into like identifying themselves and setting themselves apart from
Mm-hmm.
like the rest of the world, because if then AI, then you could be mixed up with AI if you're not set apart, like the
And you
things
don't,
that you
yeah,
say.
you don't know yourself.
Yeah.
When especially when the technology keeps advancing, it's advancing at an insane rate.
Yeah.
Um, when it gets to the point where it can literally do anything, its own being, you're gonna lose that chance to figure out who you are, because there's already studies that people that are using Chat GPT, it's killing our brains pretty much. It's killing our critical thinking. And it's almost dumbing us down because it's making us not have to use
Our
our thinking.
brands. Mm-hmm.
So again, eventually, when it gets to the point, if AI can literally do everything for us, people are going to stop even trying, and then they're going to completely, our next generation, they'll really be lost of who they are because they don't had never had that chance to find themselves in that era. It's a scary thought. I mean, that's why
Mm-mm.
AI, it's got a lot of good possibilities, a lot of bad. It's all depending on how we use it. And
Yeah.
that's the scary thing. We'll
Yeah.
see.
But yeah, I mean, the future of fashion is definitely, exciting. Actually, now that like with that whole fashion identify thing,
Hmm.
I've been in a lot of trouble, not trouble, but I've been called out for liking like the corporate. I would put it as like a corporate baddie aesthetic,
The
where
corporate, that is,
where I
you
like
do like a lot of like
I
blazers and
love
stuff.
my blazers, and I've been called out because like I would get like my parents would be like, "You're like 21, like take that blazer
Yeah,
off."
I'm with you. That is fun. That is fun. I definitely noticed about you. You like dressing very corporate, I'd
Yeah,
say.
it's a comfort, but I
But
also
like corporate
like,
with flair, yeah.
yeah, I also like then being like, depending on the setting, sometimes I would like wear like a little, little black dress or something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's why I'd say corporate baddie, because I also like the corporate element of like I have blazers more than jackets, for an
Yeah.
example.
Yeah.
So like even when I was coming over here, like I think I had more blazers than any other item of clothing.
Really.
So that for me is like, okay, cool. Like that's my thing.
And
Um,
run full force with it. To take that as a, now that you like are
yeah,
calculating, then you'd be like, oh, now maybe I should go out and get like a really nice, well made, like
yeah,
tailored, get one custom tailored for you or something.
yeah. That's so funny. It's just like I
Yeah.
couldn't try. I would be like so. I would be getting called out for that a lot, because especially when I was young. Now I'm getting older. Like I'm sure
Hmm.
now my family's just like whatever. But when I
Yeah.
was like in my like 20s, like early 20s, I'd be like in trouble because they'll be like, "What are you doing? Like, why?"
That's so funny.
And I
It's
buy
just have fun. You
blazers.
like it. There's nothing wrong. That's
Um,
fun.
but I really hoped and really wanted this particular episode to be us laying the foundation and laying the context of future episodes to come. There's definitely going to be a lot of fashion coverage that we're going to be doing, unpacking fashion updates, which is technically what we are hoping to do on the Manhattan Avenue platform as well. But that's from a digital standpoint. I think it's important for us to have our physical voices also within the conversation, so that you guys can get to hear what we are saying. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Get like you feel like you're in the same room as us, and getting to really understand who we are.
Yeah, because we have these conversations like on an average. So we're just bringing you guys in. Like this is even the time that we're filming this is time when we would be meeting. This is
Yeah.
our meeting time.
Right.
So this is we're bringing you guys in to kind of hear the conversations that we are having, and also kind of the things that we are experiencing on the journey. Because my goodness, yeah, it's obviously not easy, but there's definitely
There's a lot of things that a lot of people don't know about the whole process, and that's one thing I feel like we were so focused, kind of figuring things out,
yeah.
that we kind of didn't get a chance to document a lot of our journey.
No.
Whether it was the trials, tribulations, the successes, because we've definitely had all
Yeah, no,
of
for
them.
sure.
We have a lot of funny stories that are just like, how did this happen? How did that happen? But we didn't really get a chance to document them because we were so focused on just like trying to figure things out. And
Yeah,
that's the hard part about starting something like this. So hopefully moving forward, we can kind of keep you guys more in tune with what's going on.
Because in the loop. I remember you saying this after I think it was after, so the day we had our cover shoot for the magazine,
This
literally
last one?
the last one, like the
Yeah.
day before the shoot, we didn't have any clothes to dress the cast.
I had to wake up at 5:30 a.m.
to go get the clothes.
I live in Washington Heights, so if you know geography from New York, the tip of
The
Manhattan.
tip of Manhattan.
I had to wake up at 5:30 after getting home late the night before and go all the way down to Chelsea, which is at the bottom of Manhattan, to pick up this suitcase of clothes from a guy I've never met, don't even know his name, at a hotel, and then go straight to the shoot off of 3 hours of sleep. I was like, oh my God.
This is it. And if we had, but even for me, it was just like, okay, so these are the things that we have to, because I found out that we don't necessarily we won't be able to have the clothes. I think 3 days before. Because
the whole process, the idea of what we had to do changed.
Yeah, because what we knew, it ended up changing. So it was so stressful.
Which happens all the time for what we do. It's like we always, I've realized a lot of people we work with, it's like, even if they're more established names, like it makes me feel better. It's because like a lot of people have the same issues we have. And that means we're doing the right thing, because there's so many things come up. That is the one thing about the fashion industry, in any industry, but specifically fashion industry. You have to be adaptable.
Yeah. Something is going to go wrong.
You have to expect it will, even if it doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be able to adapt to any situation. That is probably one of the best skill sets you can have.
Yeah.
And being a founder, co-founder, anything you do, be able to adapt and you will succeed.
Yeah. Because that shoot, I don't know how, I remember just sitting there and thinking, wow. Nate was even talking about us going to the shop and buying. I was like, no.
Well, also, I showed up to the shoot location having a whole idea of planning, because it was supposed to be at a different location.
That's true.
And
we even had to change location.
I made the mood board based off this other location. I had like everything visually planned and everything. And I walked in, I'm like, where are we? I don't even know what this is. And you're like, oh yeah, I forgot. And I was like, what? Like, part of being adaptable, but oh my God,
It makes you so patient, because sometimes the thing is, sometimes I also have to, sometimes I hear these things, they would kind of knock at the same time. So they'll be like 3 things. For example, for this cover shoot, 3 things change at the same time. So I would probably tell Nate one of the things or 2 of the things, and then I forget to tell Nate the other third thing. And then I'm like, oopsie, I forgot to tell you that part. Because there were 2 other things that were...
catch up later.
Yeah, 2 other things that are going wrong that we had to fix. So we didn't think about the other thing. Because, for example, the location thing. When the location had to change, I was like, I'm not going to worry about this.
Yeah,
as long as we just have somewhere to go.
We did. We figured it out.
No, yours. It can't be on the street either. We just have to figure it out. Because, we did. A bathroom for him to change. So we need somewhere where there's a bathroom. I don't care where it is at this point.
Yeah, as long as there is somewhere. I mean, we figured it out, but thankfully it was somewhere like, it was a house. That was nice.
So when I got that, I think, the person who was helping us get the space was like, oh, this is a new spot. I think he sent me a video or photo. I didn't even look at the video, because I was like, dude, I don't care anymore. Like,
just take it.
Take it. So when we arrived there, and I was like, okay, I'm not mad at this. I'm really not mad at this.
He was gracious enough to. It was his own house.
Yeah, it was his house.
He was gracious enough to just be like, the situation was kind of changing. You can just have it in my place, because he has a very nice place, and it was perfect for the shoot. Honestly, there's very maximalist, a lot going on. It's very fit the vibe. So he was nice enough to just be like, hey, just have it here, and we're very grateful for him letting us do that. And it's always the cover shoots are always crazy. The previous cover, we didn't even have cover stars. We had a cover star she pulled out. We had to get another one that pulled out. The whole another journey is people pulling out. We got I think we got the one cover star confirmed the night before. I was like, okay, let's just we were supposed to have one cover star, and then we ended up having 3 so that we can. And to mind you, everybody listening, we're doing this with practically $0.
$0.
Everything we've done so far,
Minus, probably minus. You're probably at like a
minus for sure, because I'm out like a little bit of money because
yeah,
I purchased the magazines out of pocket,
yeah,
and that's really a situation that, I mean, where the Gaben goes to adapting. You got to adapt. But I'm impressed with what we've been able to do with no money.
yeah. Dude, I have no. I still till this. I think it's God, to be honest, because
it has to be. It
I'm
is.
just
And
like,
there's a plan. He's got a plan, and we're on the right track for
yeah.
sure.
There's no way. Like the things, like you saw that even for me when I see the experience of the shoots and all these things. When I see the outcome, like when I saw the South African, for example, the South African photo shoot photos, thinking about how stressful, and I didn't want to bring you into that stress. I was like, I don't want Nate to I don't want Nate to have to go through this. This is just too much unnecessary stress. So when I went through that stress, but then seeing the final photos, I was like, wow, this was worth it. Like this
It
stress
always
was
is,
worth
yeah.
it. So that's why I think at the outcome, when you see the work and you're like, oh wow, like we did that. Like this is beautiful. This is incredible. And this is something that a lot of people don't get to achieve, like don't get to fully end up getting to the end point. You know what I mean?
Well, because they get to this point and they're like, it's not working.
Yeah.
But people realize like something like this, there's no time frame on when it's going to work.
Yeah.
Some people, it's the famous quote, very cliche now, but you become an overnight success 10 years
10
later.
years later, yeah.
So it's like, we don't know when we're going to get our big break, but it's something we enjoy to do, and we have a vision of where we want to go. We're just going to go until we can't no more. And
Yeah.
right now, we're able to do it with no money. Imagine when we finally start getting that figured out. I mean, we've been doing, that's the thing about New York that's been amazing, is the network here. We're just barely scratching the surface. We have been doing stuff with many amazing people and have been in great rooms, had great opportunities, and all just through word of mouth. It's just from befriending people, helping each other out, and it's not been about payment. People have been very gracious to us and helped us out a lot, and in return we do the same for them. And people will help you. You just got to ask. If you want to go start something, a brand, a business, it's the biggest thing you have to do is just be not scared to ask and not be scared to fail, because you will fail. It's just going to take a lot of times of getting back up. I'm learning right now. We're learning that every day. And like I said, things change. You just got to adapt. And at the end of the day, I'll take this over a 9 to 5 anytime.
Yeah, I'll take it as a 24/7. I'm like,
yeah, I will
I'll
too.
do 20.
Right now, I
do
know
24/7.
my 9 to 5 still, and I don't want to work anymore. I'd rather do this. So
but it's like the thing that fuels you, like it's the thing that fuels when you come back from a photo shoot and you feel so good, or you come back from like, going to going to a designer store and kind of looking at all the clothes. Like those things make you feel great, that when you're doing all the other boring stuff, you're at least motivated to to keep going, because there's something you're anticipatingly looking for. You know what I mean? You're like, oh,
yeah. I mean, even the magazine, just making the magazine. I mean, I'm making the whole magazine on Canva on my iPad.
yeah,
Like, I don't have a lot of tools right now. I'm working with what I can, but I'm just purely just trying to be creative as I can with it and working with what I got. And I think it's cool because we're going to continue to see the progress from the first issue moving forward as we get better, expand, build our team.
yeah.
So I'm excited to see the growth long term when we look back and see where we started with what we had to then, being levels up. I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, it's gonna be. I said it. I said in the beginning. I said on top of this, I always said this is the next big thing in fashion. And if you don't believe that, that's on you. But we know.
You don't believe it, but
you gotta believe it. That's the next big. We are the next big thing in fashion, and it's so exciting because it's like this is a perfect place to do that. New York Fashion Week is coming up. We've been working so hard on this next issue, y'all. We've been working so hard on this next issue. We've put so much effort and like time and just energy and stress to putting together this next issue. So we are really, really excited to.
It'll be a pretty big issue too.
It definitely, I mean, it's a September issue. You know, the
Yeah, it's gonna
September
be thick.
issue is
Yeah,
always a
true.
big
Yeah, it's gonna
issue.
be thicker. That is true. Very
So we're
true.
rounding up now. We're rounding up the issue. We've got some really cool and amazing features in there, you know, beautiful cover. I don't know if you
Mhm.
want to make the announcement of the cover now, Nate, or we kind of wait for that when the magazine, or like how we're structuring the cover. But maybe we'll do that next week. But
Well, let's do that next week because
yeah,
we can recap because I'm wrapping up the issue probably. What day is it today? The
Monday.
18th. I'll probably have the issue finished Wednesday,
Yeah.
and then we can kind of talk Thursday, and then game plan
For
for
how we tell the people.
yeah.
How we let everybody know, because no, for real, like it's definitely something that is the next big, again, I think I'm gonna probably say this a lot, but it's
Huh.
because I genuinely believe it. The
Mhm.
next big thing in fashion. And so we're definitely gonna see that coming together. Our plan and our hope is to have that come to you guys this coming new fashion week. So really be on the lookout. We have some really cool features, some really amazing stories, because we also storytellers at the core, so we want to
Mhm.
tell beautiful stories. So we have some amazing stories to tell you guys, from folks in the fashion space, from folks who are around the lifestyle space as well. So you definitely are in for an incredible issue. So start getting your coins ready to buy.
Mhm.
Start getting your coins in place,
Mhm.
to buy a copy. That's what I'm going to say. And if you want to go back and start the journey from the beginning, get our previous copy as well, because yeah, that one was tea. I think it was so
For our
um
issue out, it was pretty good for our
yeah, for our
first
first.
go round. I
Yeah.
was impressed.
So definitely go ahead. ManhattanAvenue.shop is where you go and get. We have like very few copies left.
And it's
Of
also
that.
another name because
Oh
we
yes.
yeah. So I mean that was the whole part of like figuring everything out,
Yeah,
how
yeah,
things.
yeah.
So it's under VN. It was VN magazine at
Yeah.
first. Now it's changed to Manhattan Avenue. But
Yeah.
yeah.
So you guys will see it though on Manhattan Avenue shop. So if you just go to ManhattanAvenue.shop, you'll see the VN issue. Then
That's
that's
gonna
the
be a
one that
rare
we are
issue.
referring to.
That's gonna
Huh?
be a rare on the line. That's gonna be a collectible.
Oh
First one,
yeah.
different
And we're
name.
not
That one.
printing more. We're not printing more we're
No,
not printing more copies
I
for that.
can't afford it anymore. No, that's it. That's all we got. Limited edition.
Limited edition.
Yeah,
And
for real.
yeah, so we're not gonna have any more of those copies. So if you definitely wanna have a copy, it's a collector's item. Get yourself one right now. It's available on ManhattanAvenue.shop. But yeah, we're 1 hour in, Nate. Do you have any
Yeah.
updates on your side that you wanna bring in and before we wrap up?
No, I guess I'm trying to start focusing more on like making content for you guys. I'm having a lot of issues with just my old phone. I have no storage. My camera sucks, and I can't film anything. So I have a lot of ideas, a lot of like structure, layout for content I want to make. But I'm trying to get a new phone soon. So once I do that, I'll be able to start being a little more consistent with that, and I'll keep you guys updated on what I'm doing. Have some series on my personal page and with Manhattan Avenue. Just kind of bring you guys along the journey and do some really fun and exciting stuff.
Yeah.
So
And when it
all
comes
from
to
me.
yeah, sorry.
I said that's all for me.
Oh, when it comes to content, I think it's also important to kind of note that we are figuring that out.
Mm-hmm.
And that's also something I'm not afraid to say. Like, we're figuring it out. And so
Yeah.
we're kind of playing around with different content types. Like, yesterday, I shared content from like a on the street type of interview, people
Oh,
on the
I saw.
street,
Yeah, I saw you went to that event.
right? To
Yeah.
kind of see how engagement kind of moves from. So we're playing around with content ideas, and we are really trying to also find the rhythm to what type of content we're going to be putting out. So just be open to seeing content from us,
And let us know what you like. Let us know what
yeah,
we do that you think is working and that you want to see more of, because that's how we're really going to decide. We want to do what you guys like.
yeah,
So, I mean, our ideas are going to go every different direction. So, we're relying on you guys to kind of like really tell us the direction that you are wanting to see. So,
yeah, yeah. All right, guys. I think that's all from my side. Next week we are back. This episode will be coming out on Friday. Every Fridays we're gonna be Fashion Fridays because we are the next big thing
Yeah.
in fashion. So we're gonna give you Fashion Fridays and
Huh.
give you these episodes on every Friday. So stay tuned, and continue watching. Follow Nate. He's a cool guy. He's Nate the Mate. So you want to go follow him on his social media handles. Follow me, Vuyo, on social media as well, and then follow Manhattan Avenue, and then follow the Vuyo Show. Those are like 4 handles to follow, but they're all interlinked. So you'll see each one on
We
each
can
one's
tag 'em.
bio. So yeah, but that's all from me. Nate, you want to do the
All for me.
outro?
I don't remember the outro, but I guess we'll start another one.
I remember putting you on the spot at the time, and you were like, bye.
Yeah. Well, it was nice talking to you guys. This was a fun kind of first episode. I kind of went into this having a couple ideas of what to talk about. We actually didn't talk about any of them.
I know.
Because I had like news and stuff, but I think this was good. I think it was good to kind of just like do an introduction video, have some just in the moment conversations. Next week, I'm gonna focus on more of like bringing some like current news in the fashion scape, and kind of structuring that and start trying to bring a little bit of that in every episode. So this is a good first episode, and I'll see you guys next week.
Have a good one, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. See you
Bye-bye.
soon.